Hey everybody, it's Anna. Time for the Wednesday card and this week's tarot story. So today we have the Tower reversed. The Tower is a major arcana card, so that is connected to an important life lesson. And the lesson of the Tower is that sometimes things fall apart. The image here shows the tower literally being struck by lightning, on fire, and two people are falling out. This looks very disastrous. And when you see this card, we think, oh no, it's something terrible is happening. And it definitely can feel very terrible for the mind. But I think of this card as what happens when we've outgrown a structure. The tower is an old structure, something maybe we're very attached to. Maybe it served us very well, but now we've gotten too big for it. So it is falling away to release us into doing something else. This and the lightning, I often connect to that moment of insight where you suddenly realize, you see something differently, you suddenly have a big expansion, and the structure around you just doesn't allow for that kind of expansion. So the lightning strikes the tower, it sets on fire, and you fall out. So as I said, this looks like a scary card, and it definitely can be painful and disorienting, especially to the mind, because the mind relies on structures. It gets comfortable in structures. The mind learns through repetition. It learns from what it's already known. So if this structure has been serving me for 20 years, the mind's gotten pretty comfy in it. And even if suddenly we realize it's not working, it's tough to have that suddenly crumble around you, right? So this card came to us reversed. And that suggests to me, especially in light of yesterday's card, which was the Two of Swords, that the mind's really trying not to see this. Maybe like the Two of Swords is as I said yesterday, is the swords is the mind, and the two is making a choice and also rooting into intuition. So the idea is in the Two of Swords, the woman is blindfolded, and the idea is the mind saying, well, I don't know what to choose, right? And that can be true. That's absolutely true. The mind does need help from the intuition to move forward. But it can also happen that the mind is blinding itself on purpose because it's scared of choosing, it's scared of moving forward. And that can be if the mind anticipates something like this is about to happen. Like the mind can feel something is shifting. The intuition is, we're on the verge of something happening and the intuition is leading forward. And the mind's like, oh, that's going to be bad. I don't think I want to do this. So that is legitimate. And I always say, the mind can only move as fast as the mind can move, which means that if the mind is absolutely terrified and locked down, you back away. Okay, we are not in the process of, we're not in the business of bullying anyone. Bullying any energy gets you a backlash, right? So if the mind is absolutely terrified and locked down, then you back away. You go ahead and go blind. When I was in seminary, that was one thing we talked about, especially among grieving, was the idea of when people are in denial, leave them alone in their denial. Their denial is there to keep them safe. So if the mind's telling you, I can't look at the structure falling, I can't do it right now, then back off. Eventually, with love and attention and patience and kindness, the mind will kind of be allowed to settle back in, right? Because that Two of Swords is that relationship between the mind and the intuition. And the truth is, the mind's real sense of safety and security comes from that relationship, not from structures. But it comes from that relationship because the relationship is loving and gentle and not a bullying relationship. So that's really important to notice, like what the narration is in your head, what the dialogue is in your head. If it is severe and angry, you want to take a breath and back off, right? You want to see where the violence is. This already feels pretty violent to the mind, right? We don't want to increase the violence by pushing the mind forward. So consider how nervous your mind is, how fearful it is, and what's the right step that is gentle, that is loving, that is kind. The tower can't really be denied. So you don't have to worry about, oh, we're going to be trapped in the structure. No, it's going to fall away, right? But there's no reason to force the mind into something it can't do just yet. And it's amazing how many times that if you'll just be patient and loving, the mind takes maybe not very long before the mind goes, okay, I really do want to be on this journey. Okay, let's agree to the tower. It really is not, the mind is not a fearful, scaredy cat energy. And it's usually pretty bold. It's just that it needs the backing and love and that unconditional love for it to know that even if I can't do this, you're going to love me, right? Like, yes, no matter what happens, I'm going to love you. And the mind goes, okay, then I'll do it. So keep that in mind. If you feel like you're in the middle of a transition and you want to avoid it, avoid it. Be loving, be gentle. It'll come back. You'll get another chance at this, maybe even a couple days. But in the meantime, the primary goal is to be loving, to be mindful of where you're fearful, and to be loving and attending to it. That's today's card. See you tomorrow for our next one. Bye.